Welcome to LCS Waiting Room. Who dat?
Hey!
Raz, how many different pairs of shoes have you worn on Waiting Room this year?
Ooh, like maybe 3 or 4. But I have.
That's it? I feel like you have way
a lot
more
of shoes
looks.
at home.
What do you mean that's it? How many have you worn?
So Raz actually has shoe taste.
Yes. Well, okay. Wait a minute. I have like maybe 8 or 7 different like sneakers at home. I'm not a sneakerhead because some people are crazy when it comes to sneakers.
Yeah.
But I have like a decent amount of sneakers that I like if I'm going out and playing basketball, I'll use.
Yeah.
But I haven't played basketball for a long time.
I was going to say, when's the last time you played basketball there, bro?
Very long time, so I have not used many of those shoes.
Didn't you see his competition against Golden Glue on the little shooting machine like a couple weeks ago?
And I'm still depressed.
Yeah, he got smoked.
He did.
I was by 1 point.
Destroyed.
By 1 point.
Who won?
And we tied multiple
Absolutely
times. He won.
Devastated.
By 1 point. I shouldn't have told him to because the machine randomly goes from 2 points to 3 points. So he thought like I completely devastated him, and I had the 3-pointers only, and he had the 2-pointers only. No.
So you're an honorable loser.
Yeah, exactly.
But still a loser.
I just love Raz's absolute confidence in things that you don't even do. Like, I was told that you were just so confident you never played this thing one time. And then when you're going to go, we're like, oh, yeah, some of the PAs do it. And they max out the score every single time. You're like, wait, people can do that?
Yes, I was shocked.
That happens?
I was shocked. There are a few bars that I've been to that, like, I was killing it. I got a high score in, like, the closest one. I was pretty happy about that. And then, no. Apparently, the PAs are destroying me in that one.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, they're really good. Anyway, we have 4 teams left in the LCS playoffs. Let's take a look at the bracket, see what's happened so far. We had a 4-day week last week with the upper and lower brackets playing their first round. And this is what's left. Fly C9 tomorrow and Hunter Thieves TL today.
Who's going to make it to finals weekend? This has been an exciting playoffs for me. The one that took the cake was FlyQuest versus Team Liquid that went to 5. Man, we need more of that.
Yeah, bloodiest series in LCS playoff history was FlyQuest versus GL. We're not the only ones wrapping up our split, though. NACL playoffs are also happening this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, next up in some news, it was announced that NACA Finals will be live here in the Riot Games Arena, which is obviously a pretty big deal because this could be the first time some of these players are actually taken to the stage.
I am so pumped for this. To get to see players experience their first ever game on stage is incredible. You know, kind of learning what it's like.
What's NACL?
So, speaking of Magic, Cubby, I hear you worked some to get NACL Finals live somehow.
Yeah, team effort. But you know what? We're going back to the studio on April 1st for our live finals. You can get tickets now, and there's even going to be an award show to go along with it.
So you know what's interesting, Emily? Not only are they bringing back the most valuable prospect, but they're introducing a new slew of awards for the players and teams also to vote on.
Yeah, so looking at the list, there's also going to be a most improved player and a rookie of the split award, and they're voting for all pros. It's kind of like we do in the LCS, so it'll feel a little more familiar, I guess.
Yo, Eric, they just announced that NACL Finals are live and we can get tickets.
Oh, sick. Playoffs are on right now. Put it on.
Let's go.
That was us.
Yeah,
we were in there.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's so nice of you guys to do the promo for the NACL.
Yeah,
Good job. Well done.
Out, you know. We contribute where we can.
I saw no difference whatsoever, Isaac. That was good.
Other news this week was the Kia All-Pro got revealed. So first team, second team, third team, let's take a look.
Whippo's now arrived to the party.
I think the gameplay spoke for itself.
He pops a Ragnarok, and he just melts River. The shockwave from Jensen cleans them all off and piles them so that Whippo can just run them through.
Here comes Whippo. Someone help me. She's forced to flash away and go off. And now Whippo just running amok in the middle of the fight. It's a quadra kill for Whippo.
It's not a heist. It's a promise as River carry forward this momentum. River with the counter gank and first blood on the contract.
Shopify Rebellion is collapsing. Boogie the last man standing. Here comes Bambi. There goes Brand.
This guy has leveled up massively. We are seeing the promise that people have been talking about with Quid.
Shockwave tries to bring them all in, but that unraveled from Quid did a lot of damage, already taken down Umti. APA forced the plat. Quid is just cooking up Team Liquid on a platter, trying to pour everything into this play to try and come back in this game. Quid doesn't flash over the wall, but it doesn't matter. He's still living. Quid is popping off.
Quid is showing these guys exactly how it goes down.
B-Boy just stepped up and straight up just erased JoJo off the map.
It's an absolutely disastrous dive. Shopify Rebellion are the ones that turn it on its head. And it's a double for B-Boy.
Keep your eyes on B-Boy's Insanity goes on in, gets the Demacian Justice onto the Sejuani. B-Boy now isolating out Rich. Rich trying to get raged out, but he gets taken down. Tomo gotta get cut down. B-Boy with the triple. B-Boy with the buzzer, but traded out by the Varus. Holy! Cut the tape, Flowers! The new kids are rocking Cloud9! Berserker under pressure, having a flash away, but Bucio's ready to follow. Berserker's barely hanging on, but he gets buried underneath the anchor. But now Meech is shown on up. Here comes the damage, and oh, the ulti by Nico pops up. Berserker dead twice in a 2v2. Bucio just lollipopped, and that was beautiful.
There it is, first team. We also have the second and third team. Kobe.
Some variety. Hey,
there was a lot of variety.
Look at that. We got some nice
these
variety.
These players didn't even make playoffs.
Five teams were represented out of the 8 across the 3 All-Pro teams. I actually felt as well that there could have been a couple more people. I felt that Tomor and Isles could have been in with a chance. I actually personally voted for Huhi and Ole.
Yeah.
I think FBI could have been in there. I do think that there was a number of players that could have deserved consideration at least. I heard some people saying maybe Castle did. I think that was more of a pro opinion though, because he had been smurfing really hard.
He was on a
scrims.
few of the pro ballots I saw.
Yeah.
Vulcan tweeted out something with like a ninja emoji. He was alluding to the fact that he like snuck in there. I think. Bottom lane especially, it was pretty crowded. Like I feel like that one could have gone a lot of ways.
Bot lane was the craziest one, and even though we only had 5 teams represented on the actual first, second, third team, players from all 8 teams received votes. Like I was looking at the voting yesterday on the Lolly Sports website. Castle did receive votes from Immortals.
Yeah.
I actually had 2 Dignitas players on my ballot, and NRG very clearly got votes as well with FBI and Huhi. So really, a lot of parity.
FBI, I feel like, is one that I really thought was going to be on there.
Berserker was a fraud.
Okay.
That was a name brand one. That was the name brand one, 100%.
I don't
and
think so.
That was also a scrim one. Because if you look at the ballots, all the pros and coaches, who I know C9 had still been doing really, really well in scrims, and if you talk to the pros, they'll tell you they're not really watching the games on stage. They're mostly voting off of the scrims. They're still performing really well. That, to me, is 100% how Vulcan and Berserker got into All-Pro.
I just noticed your shirt really matched the background there. It was perfectly cut. You got the red side and the blue side lined up too. Just disappear into the background.
Where'd he go?
I think it was really close. The one that hit me was the fact that B-Boy, of course, his team didn't make it into playoffs, but the fact that he was still recognized as one of the best AD carries within the league.
The Lyra vibes.
Nice. There it is, true.
It's a good
Back
throwback.
in Envy, he won an MVP. And
don't curse him.
They were terrible. On 8th place team, I think.
Yeah.
I think they were 10th.
Were they 10th?
Yeah.
I can't.
Which would be impossible.
Their only games they won though was the Lyra versus the entire world, including his own team.
No, I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that.
So that one was one that got me. Sniper, of course, off of the expectation coming into the split to actually getting third and being the clear-cut solo kill leader. There were some real surprises there, and overall I enjoyed the votes. I thought the votes were pretty accurate. So,
who got snubbed the hardest?
I already said mine, FBI.
Okay, I think Tomo got snubbed the hardest.
Harder? No. Now we got to fight because those are same role.
Yeah.
I would say Meech. Meech was silently performing on stage, and then of course didn't hit top 3 at all. If there was
so just all 80 carries.
Yeah,
all 80 carries. Tactical.
Which is weird because that's what some people's opinions were. That's how wild the actual.
There was no dominant bot lane.
Yeah.
That's what I would just say. That's what caused this. Yeah. There was no clear bot lane that was the best in the league, so I think you could make arguments. And
it was supposed to be Berserker, but he was not.
But the chosen one.
But it was not.
Yeah, but still able to get the recognition. Okay, that's it for the Kia All-Pro, and we have a series today between Team Liquid and 100 Thieves, which we're going to be getting into after the break. But for this break, I caught up with both of the coaches ahead of today's series. I got Spawn and Golden Glue here in an elimination match upcoming in the LCS playoffs, see who gets to go to finals weekend. But both of you actually were able to come off wins to make it to this match. So how was last week's match for you, and how are you preparing for today?
The energy match was definitely a gulag. We went to 5 games, and I think we showed improvement over the C9 series. And we had a a couple players a little bit sick, so we're at full health now. So I'm excited for this week's match.
And Spawn, how are you feeling about the series today?
I mean, we're excited about the series today. Obviously, during the regular season, 100 were able to beat us, 2-0. So we feel like we need to get a little bit of revenge, and we think we're coming off pretty good form versus Dig. So, we're excited for the matchup.
Do you have any rivalry with each other? Because you've actually coached 45 games against each other all time through Academy. You've met in multiple Academy finals. Do you know the all-time score between the two of you? Do you know who has the edge?
If I had to guess, I think he has the edge.
I would say it's like 55-45 though. I don't think it's like really one-sided.
It is 27-18 game score.
Oh my God, I'm getting breath. I'm getting home.
Which is a 3-2 ratio.
Yeah. The math is mathing right now. But what about in playoffs? Because that's regular season included. Where we were a playoffs team. So I don't know. I mean, if we go 5 games, I'm gonna be happy. That's for sure.
Last thing though, congratulations on the Coach of a Split award.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. Thanks, guys. Thanks for the support. Thanks for the votes. I feel very grateful and lucky for the opportunity. So, yeah.
Coaching staff of the Split as well. I know the 100 Thieves organization put out a nice tweet. Any final thoughts before the match, Spawn?
No, I mean, I voted for Grayson to get Coach of the Split, so I'm glad he got it. I actually think what he did with the team is actually pretty impressive. And, on the rivalry, I would say, it's actually kind of obviously, rivalry between friends. To be honest, we talk to each other a lot, so, it's going to be a fun game.
All right, thanks for joining me, and good luck in the series today, guys.
Hey man, actually, I thought it was quite good just talking about the coach of the split, because yes, a lot of people really complimented how 100 Thieves was able to coach a lot of young players coming in, make them feel comfortable. Their drafts were quite smart. Another one too would be the fact that yes, Golden Glue on his first split being able to get it, but Spooks back-to-back coaching split of the year because he was on Golden Guardian's last split. So a lot of positivity being sent to 100 Thieves' way.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a rivalry between the two coaches, but I think there's also a big LCS rivalry between 100 Thieves and Team Liquid.
Yeah.
The first Team Liquid title was back in 2018 when Team Liquid beat 100 Thieves. And then the first 100 Thieves title was in 2021 when 100 Thieves beat Team Liquid. So they've been going back and forth for what is going on 6-7 years now, I think.
Yeah.
If I get the math correct.
It's been crazy because even with the different iterations of the teams that we've seen here, Team Liquid has always been the team that have, of course, put their money where their mouth is, so they have a competitive team because they've had the 4 championships in a row, and then 100 Thieves came into the league and wanted to make a name for themselves. So they brought in Closer, Abadaga, of course FBI and Huhi, Someday on the top lane who's been there for a long period of time, ended up winning that championship, but they always wanted to be on that big stage winning a championship because that was during the time where the fans weren't here, and a lot of the players were like, okay, yes, we won a championship finally, but we want to do it on the biggest stage in front of the crowd, and it was always Team Liquid that was kind of in front of them too. So I really love this organizational rivalry. We don't really have that many of them these days. So when you finally get to see one, it's really nice.
Yeah, that's the all-time series and game score in playoffs, not even counting the regular season. And I also know there was a lot of chatter, at least from the Team Liquid guys this regular season, being like, I can't believe we lost 100 Thieves twice. They were so pissed they lost to them both times because of the difference between Scrim 100 Thieves and Stage 100 Thieves this split.
And the difference between Scrim Team Liquid.
Yeah.
Because everybody for years, they're always like, oh my God, Team Liquid's going to be so good. They're going to always be at the top. They're smashing Scrim. And it has always been difficult for them to translate to Stage.
Well, I want to talk a little bit about how 100 Thieves actually lost to Cloud9, some of the things that Cloud9 did in the early game. I'm going to try to go through this because it's a bit of a long clip, but there was a lot of talk about how Cloud9 utilized pushing lanes, utilized counterpick. This is something that they did in the top lane, but really across all 3 lanes. So started off, bot lane scrapping very heavily here, Berserker and Vulcan playing the Lucian Nami. All Cloud9 lanes are pushing. The Nico is going to be pushing heavily mid, and Jax is pushing top. So what this does is it means you are exposed to potential ganks, as we're going to see come in here. River comes in mid. Obviously, that is one of the opportunity costs of when you're going to have pushing lanes, but when all 3 lanes are pushing aggressively, you can't punish all of them. So what is really key here is what Cloud9 gets out of the attention that is being shown towards JoJo. So we're going to look at the minimap here in a second, and as you'll note, Blabber is going to be going bot. So Blabber shows up bot. He's going to be looking for a gank down here because they're scrapping heavily. Jax is pushing top. We'll come back to that in a second. So as he goes in, this is a very heavily scrappy lane. Meech is already really low. It's an easy first blood kill here for Blabber. We know that River showed mid. He knew that he could make this gank happen because River shows mid. Now, same time, Fudge is actually going to go past the wave here and proxy. Again, this is all because River showed down on bot side. They know that he's going to be around here. So if Fudge can move past the wave, he can look to proxy, and he can continue trying to get something out of that. So 2 lanes already getting an advantage. Jojo immediately comes back. You'll also note that because Jojo TP's back faster, he's back to lane, there was an invade there from River, but this means Mark spawns on bot side, and Blabber is going to have the assistance again from these pushing lanes, from this Prile that is here. Jojo has the earlier TP, he can obviously threaten to move, and there's no way that you're going to be able to actually stay around and challenge for that mark. So going forward now, Blabber obviously going to be able to finish up his clear and then look back towards the base. River is going to go to top side to try to take that scuttle. Again, looking to pressure here around Jojo. We know that Wukong now has a really, really good buy. Was able to grab Tunneler on his first base, so he's going to be really, really strong. And I'm also going to note then, because of the earlier proxy move, Fudge was able to recall, and he did it and over in this area, and he puts a ward right there. So he places a ward over on the blue buff. So Blabber's gonna have full information on the timing here from River. River also got delayed on his base, so he wasn't able to actually buy. They know he has no combat power. He's on his blue right now. And Wukong is gonna run straight out on the map over towards that enemy Gromp and look to pressure him. He has the buy advantage, he gets in, he steals away that Gromp, is gonna utilize that pressure again. They have tracking on him, so bot side is gonna be scrapping. He then immediately goes back towards Grubs, is gonna be able to secure that as well, because again, Jax is pushing top, bot lane is pushing bot. They have information on where everyone is thanks to these pushing lanes. River again comes out mid, he does get a kill there, that's great. He's able to punish that missing flash from Jojo, but again, it's just a non-stop full court press. Again, Jojo comes back out on the map, they have the push bot, so we're going to see Wukong go down, and he's going to be able to secure the first dragon off this as well, right? It's all through this non-stop pushing. They get deep wards as well into the jungle. You can see, wards placed multiple places around this area. And this is something that I think Cloud9 did really, really well throughout the series. But in this first 8 minutes or so of this game, I was just so impressed by how they were handling this, because everyone's just nonstop pushing. River's going to be able to attack somewhere. In this game, Jojo was the one who does get punished. But it's just such a good job from them of tracking River, of punishing where he isn't, and nonstop putting that aggression on. And I think this is really the key to their success in this series across all 3 games. So my question is going to be, is this something that TL can actually learn from, that TL can actually replicate? Or was this purely because of the talented laners that Cloud9 have, and it's not something that you can really say, oh, we're going to do that too?
I think there's no chance. I think there's no chance that Team Liquid could replicate that. The mid laners are just so different. Jojo is the best laning mid laner in the entire league. And I don't think that APA is going to draw pressure like Jojo is drawing pressure. It's just so much more clear for River to be able to go towards bottom side and attack Team Liquid's bottom lane, which is what I think is going to be the overwhelming, advantage that they can try and press and maybe win through bottom lane. Team Liquid very well could win, but they're not going to win the same way that Cloud9 won. Because it's just so different for their top side of the map.
They're not going to win the same way, but it could be a similar way. Because even in that clip, Cloud9 won all those early games by an average of like 3,000 gold against 100 Thieves. But 100 Thieves was still the second weakest early game team in the entire LCS before the playoffs. So the weakness was attacked by Cloud9 in that series, drafting a lot of early game, whereas 100 Thieves typically drafts a lot of scaling. I think that is part of why they were successful against Team Liquid, because Team Liquid wasn't good at punishing the early game. But I also don't think they were focused on punishing the early game. So, if they did focus, you could say, arguably, they could win top and bot if they picked the right matchups. Mid, probably not. Changes a lot. But it's still something where, no, they're not going to win exactly the same way, but I can still see them prioritizing early game a bit more and having a chance of blowing them out.
I just think the coolest thing about that is that River is known for being this explosive early game jungler, but they just weren't afraid of him. They're saying he cannot be everywhere, so all 3 lanes will play aggressive, all 3 lanes will push, and we will get advantages wherever he isn't.
Yeah, and I just think that the ability they had to play around jungle to the point that you made, when they knew that that Kindred was dipping to the bot side of the map, then of course that meant that Jax could do whatever you want to the wave that you were referencing. And of course that I really enjoyed the ward that he placed on Gromp. Because then not only are you getting vision on where Kindred is, worst case scenario if Wukong can't be there, or you're able to support your own jungler. So even though, yes, I don't think Team Liquid can replicate what we just saw, they can still get a good amount of information of okay, yeah, let's just if we can play for our jungler, we can get a good amount of information on getting a deep enough ward at either Raptors or Gromp and work around that. So I liked it quite a bit, and I think it's good information for any team.
Yeah, I just think that Team Liquid plays so differently because they don't usually use Umpty as a win condition. He's more a tank and supporting jungler and playing for lanes. And Impact, they don't usually win around Impact either. So I think there is a big target on bottom lane, and that's why I've got some graphics for you here on the importance of this big glow up for Yeon. I think Team Liquid
is KDA increased by 0.2?
Jack, look at his gold difference in the first 14 minutes and his kills plus assists. His early game is going crazy. Him and Core JJ definitely have the capabilities to 2v2 kill bottom lane. And if they invest resources down there, where Umpty is actually usually going really aggressive, either finding enemy jungler and fighting them to make sure that River could not gank bottom lane, or going bottom lane also for the 3v3, rotating down there, playing around dragons. I think that is going to be a really good possibility for Team Liquid in this series. Also, I just want to award them for how much time they've spent on Yeon. Look at this graphic. Yeon, they've had Yeon all the way through Team Liquid Academy. We have a better graphic actually. Maybe we'll show this one also. But the coach, Spawn, coached him the entire time through Academy as well. Many years invested into this player to really build him up. And it's shining through now, and I think they're really seeing a lot of rewards. Lots of other players as well giving so much respect to this bottom lane.
And specifically on Yeon's performance, the bot lane's performance, this is the one that you're referring to, with Spawn and Yeon lining up and him being able to coach him in Academy and then being able to work with him alongside him on main stage in LCS.
4 years.
So it is crazy. But this is what the players that have scrimmed versus Team Liquid have said. That you've also referenced it. Vulcan talking about how Yeon and Core JJ don't let you breathe when they have an advantage. People talk about Team Liquid winning scrims, and a lot of it has been the fact that they played through bot lane. But during the regular season, we haven't seen that from TL, and we're seeing it in the playoffs, which gives them such a great edge.
What about APA though?
Yeah?
What about APA versus Quid?
See, I would love to talk about that. First, I want to hear from APA on his ability to all chat.
So you're back, you're all chatting next round?
Yeah, of course. For some of these, they're not a bad team. So I have to start attacking Quid. Quid misses a cannon, nice cannon loser.
So he took a sabbatical on all chatting the last series.
He was just resting his fingers up for this.
He's back.
True, his wrist, his fingers, he's back at it. And to me, this is a great matchup, because of the fact that APA is now crowdsourcing what he's going to all chat to the crowd out there. So if you threw in a good enough idea, maybe we'll show it on the broadcast. I love APA for that reason.
Type tomorrow.
The confidence, I think, is needed because he's going to be going up against somebody that I think has been performing incredibly well. First team All-Pro, Quid. And so Quid has just been a player that has not only had great leads in the early portions of the game, usually, at least we've seen that in just the last series, but when they have put themselves in really dire straits consistently, when they're, let's just say Team Liquid during the regular season, when they were losing ways, it's APA, no, it's not APA, it's Quid that finds either the two-man Taliyah flick or the Ahri charm that gets his team back in it. He has just been a ridiculously clutch player for 100 Thieves so far.
Yeah, I definitely agree on the Ahri point. Yeah. That is not APA Ahri, that is Quid Ahri.
Yes.
And he was talking about that being his favorite champion, and he was insane with it. He has been so good for them in team fights as well. I just feel like all around, obviously, first team All-Pro speaks for itself.
And so this is just just talking about the disparity during regular season, but also this includes the playoffs where APA actually had quite a good series. And even in Quid's losses during the last series versus NRG, he was a major carry. He had 8 kills in the first game on his Taliyah. So he's still somebody that is if 100 Thieves are going to win, it's going to be through Quid. It's going to be up to APA to be able to hold him.
I think Quid should not be allowed to play Ahri in this entire series. I just absolutely think he is way too good at that champion. He was looking like it was point and click charms. Every time he's been playing it in playoffs has been such a monster. But I also think, the differences in champion pool are so interesting because everyone is criticizing APA for being this ASOL, Ziggs, two-trick type thing, but they keep giving it to him, right? And he's actually 8-1 on those champions throughout regular season plus playoffs. The only game he lost was actually a Ziggs game, 200 Thieves, where River was all over him on a
That was game 1.
That was the first game of the season and nonstop attacking him. But I feel like his contribution on those champions is really high. And I do think TL has finally settled on just playing, scaling, 5v5. That's all we're going to do. They're going to play that style, and I think they're very successful at it. And if he's able to play Ziggs and Asol, I don't really think it's going to be that big of a difference in mid lane. I think that he can perform.
I want to pull up predictions early because I think we've been talking back and forth on the different ways the teams could win.
Yes.
100 Thieves could be weak early game. Yon and CoreJJ could win bot lane early, but Quid could overpower APA. And Kobe, you're the lone 100 Thieves. You're the one who talked about the Yon glow up, though. So you're going to say Team Liquid's bot lane is not enough.
I was also the one saying that there is no way Team Liquid win the same way Cloud9 did against 100 Thieves. I don't think anybody's going to be able to replicate that against 100 Thieves. Their top side is so good. River and Quid, I feel like, are going to dominate this series.
I think it's a really interesting one. I definitely don't think that TL are going to win the way that Cloud9 won. I don't think that that's easy to replicate at all. But I do think that 100 Thieves' problems comes in the mid game and the late game. They make a lot of macro mistakes. They have a lot of kind of like silly deaths and things like that. I think TL is more clean in that stage. And I think as long as TL is drafting the way I think they're going to draft, which is full-on 5v5 scaling comps, one mistake from 100 Thieves can be enough to lose a game against that kind of stuff if you play really easy, simple comps.
Both of the games that 100 Thieves won in the regular season versus TL also made mid-game mistakes.
That's the thing. So much of the focus on Team Liquid has just been around like how slow they generally play, but like especially versus FlyQuest. Right now, during the playoffs, they have the highest, or second highest next to FlyQuest, champions kills a minute. Like, over a kill a minute. So, like, in terms of the criticisms that even Spawn has levied to his own team about them generally being slower and unwilling to make, basically take risks, they have been taking far more risks. They have been willing to scrap in mid to late games. And I just think they have a better early game. So, I think it goes to 5. I don't want to count out 100 Thieves.
All right, banger.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like we're going to have 10 games this weekend.
Yeah.
This Friday, Saturday. Just because I think these two teams are very close, throwing aside the 2-0 that 100 Thieves had on them during the regular season, because both those games were incredibly competitive. We've seen both, I know they're totally different players, but 100 Thieves and Team Liquid always play each other pretty close. And I think the strengths are so mismatched between these teams, with Team Liquid having the strong bottom lane and 100 Thieves having the extremely strong solo laners. Yet Team Liquid have like the best weak side top laner ever in Impact, who will make it almost impossible for Sniper to carry. I just think that's going to lead to a really back and forth series, because Quid River are going to pop off in a couple games. I think Yon's going to pop off bot lane in a couple games, and we're going 5.
It is interesting because I think one of the biggest voting differentials was actually between Busio as first team All-Pro and everyone else. But, we're talking about TL still as having the bot lane advantage.
Yeah. Okay. This is going to be a good series. Let's get into games.
Let's do it.
I wanted to break down a fight from last week's Team Liquid versus FlyQuest series. Now, this was 16 minutes into Game 3. As you can see, APA will be the star of this clip. You just don't know why yet. He is currently 0, 0, and 0. Watch him in this fight. There's going to be something that is very important to the overall theme of this series, and most importantly, this next series that we're going to be seeing. So you can see APA very clearly on the Nico. Doesn't pick up any kills, but clearly was instrumental into Team Liquid winning this fight. But the important thing, I think, from this entire sequence is right here. So notice how he's taken his hand off of the mouse. He has positioned his left hand still where his WASD would be, but able to type. And he does, if you focus in right into this box right here, very small chat window. Doesn't want to make a distraction, but does want to make a distraction for the other team. So he types 2 things. Wow, the ego. If we pay attention, he does this very quickly. You can't quite see it on this screen, but I'm at 35 seconds into this clip when he removes his hand from the mouse. By the time he finishes typing, only 3 seconds have passed. So ultimately, not a distraction for APA, but very potentially a distraction for the enemy team. Now, did this lead to a Team Liquid win in this game? No. Did they win the series? No. But he's not going to stop. He's going to keep typing in this 100 Thieves series, which, by the way, happens now.
arriving at the studio. It's 100 Thieves lineup looking to keep the lower bracket run going and earn their spot in finals weekend after knocking out the reigning champs just last week. On the other side, a Team Liquid Honda squad who want to make their way back to finals weekend, still chasing that first championship since 2019. The LCS playoffs continue. 100 Thieves versus Team Liquid Honda starts right now.
But I did think it was really cool how they handled that.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the LCS playoffs here in spring 2024. I'm Captain Flowers, joined by Jack and Emily Rand for today's head-to-head between Team Liquid and 100 Thieves.
Let's go. Already, one champion that I was wondering was going to get through bans or not, Smolder, is off the table. Interestingly enough, on the 100 Thieves side, which means they do not want to pick it first blue.
And we were doing a lot of draft prep before the series. One of the things that we thought was going to happen for sure was a Vi permaban from Team Liquid towards 100 Thieves. It's been River's best champion. What we weren't necessarily expecting, although we knew it was going to be a big pick, would be the Lee Sin ban as well. So double banning straight away at the 100 Thieves bot lane, as well as banning the Senna, which would be one of the more scaling lane-focused picks from each. So banning out River and banning for their bot lane is Team Liquid's strategy in game one.
Lots of marksman bans here in these first six. The Senna and Smolder, both of those eternal scalers that are plaguing competitive right now, are off the table alongside Kalista, Varus, and the Vi and Lee Sin, like you already mentioned. 100 Thieves is fast to lock in Maokai as their first pick.
Yeah, that's an interesting choice. I would have not necessarily expected the Maokai coming out. I do think TL, as they hover some bot laners here, and we've talked about them in playoffs and what they've been super successful at, it has been playing around this bot lane, right? Yan has had really stellar kind of blow up. As we look for Xayah Rakan, something that most teams are super, super comfortable with, something we saw FlyQuest play a little bit earlier. So yeah, that's coming out for TL, and all their hopes will be Yan on that Xayah.
I think so, and it's with 4 80 carry bans, it makes sense that they'd prioritize that right away. The Maokai is technically a flex pick, but if they end up locking in this Jace, it's likely a Jace mid for Quid and a jungle Maokai for the Maokai Jace synergy. The way this works in the mid game, it was super popular last year. You just spam saplings anywhere. As soon as a sapling hits someone, it reveals them as well as slows them, making the shock blast automatic. So this is very much the type of picks we would expect from the team's strengths. We have Quid, who was the most dominant mid laner in the regular season, getting the jungler to complement him on Maokai Jace, and we have Team Liquid, who's won through their bottom lane, locking in their bot lane early.
Yeah, and interesting to see the Cassante also coming out for Sniper, especially considering that previously their go-to blind was definitely the Aatrox, and I think C9 did a really good job of counter-picking on Red with the TF, with a few more of Fudge's picks there. So it's interesting that they've now pivoted from that Aatrox over to the Cassante.
Team Liquid are going to go ahead and lock in Taliyah for mid lane. They do not want to allow 100 Thieves to throw some more bans towards that in the second half before they can lock in a champ for APA. You talked a little bit about APA's min-maxing in-game with the chat. Yeah, the all-chat history there. But he has been one of the players that Team Liquid's opponents have found ways to exploit and to punish. So making sure that he's staying on something that he's more comfortable playing with, I think, is a good priority for TL here.
Yeah, absolutely. And something we have to mention every week of the LCS playoffs is we're on patch 14.5 with Azir disabled. So there's actually an extra ban that is globally across these LCS teams, stopping them from playing mid lane. Really weird TF ban there. I wouldn't expect a top lane TF from Impact, but there is definitely a little bit of lingering memory there from 100 Thieves, who lost to Fudge's top lane TF earlier in the playoffs.
It does not seem like an Impact pick at all.
No, in fact, when they were giving Impact like an R5 counter, he was just like, I'll just lock in Cassante, something that he could have locked in earlier in draft. So I do think it is good of TL to continue to ban out these bot laners, as we see Kai'Sa and Zeri now taken off the table. So I'll be really curious to see what 100 Thieves are going to be putting in that bot lane. And then on their side, as we said, TF getting out of the way. Sniper does not want to see it again. As we pull up Sniper versus Impact champ pools, it is really interesting. I remember talking to Sniper at the beginning of the season where he's like, I want top lane to be a 1v1. This is what I want it to be. And I feel like his not shared champ pool really reflects that.
Oh, yeah. Let's see how Team Liquid wants to continue here. We are expecting
I think
probably a jungle pick here.
I think it's Xin.
Yeah.
I was thinking of like, what does Ivern look like? And it just wasn't making sense in my head. But Xin Zhao would make sense, and Aurel also makes sense.
Yeah.
A little flex here because they already have a
You want invading your jungle level 2 Ivern?
Although that is actually what you do on Ivern.
Exactly.
Yeah, but the team fights would have
Ooh, the Jinx for Meech alongside the Tom Kench there for the safety plan to keep the hyper carry alive for 100 Thieves.
Yeah, this is actually not too surprising based on the number of 80 carry bans. There have been a lot of carries gravitating back towards Aphelios Jinx, or at least wanting to play Aphelios Jinx with the way the meta's been shaping up. So not a shock here. We'll see how Meech does on it.
One thing I'm a little concerned about here for 100 Thieves, the big damage threats are all physical damage based. Yeah, you've got some magic damage from Maokai, but it's not a ton. So the frontliners for Team Liquid are going to have a much easier time itemizing, I would have to think. And it's the Renekton, the final pick of the draft here for TL and for Impact. There is some powerful engage on Team Liquid's side.
Yeah, I think this is a comp that Team Liquid are going to be really comfortable playing. On the other side, I'm very curious about 100 Thieves because I feel like they haven't played around Meech on a hyper carry before. We haven't seen this from this team. And I'm also really curious to see where River is going to go and what his setups are going to look like, because when I think of him as a jungler, and we've kind of talked about how his jungle pool with the buy off the table has shifted a little bit into more carries that we saw specifically in the C9 series. And I'm curious to see where he'll be early on the map with this Maokai, because as you talked about it, Jet, it's really good setup for the Jace, but it's not necessarily as early ganking of a jungler as we would typically see from the style that got 100 Thieves here.
All right, it's just about time to hit the rip. Coaches gonna give each other the fist bump. Getting ready to go into this one. This is a spot in finals weekend both these teams are playing for here. They really want to have their shot at that title, keep this run going. But that's the nature of the lower bracket, baby. Both of them want it. Only one gets to have it. Whoever loses here today gets to watch finals weekend from home, and neither one wants to be in that spot.
Absolutely. Both of these teams did have to win a best of 5 to make it into this matchup. Last week, 100 Thieves actually eliminated the defending LCS champions in a 5-game gulag, as Blue called it.
Oh, okay, this is normal. GLHF.
And Team Liquid's Frio
good
Dignitas.
manners.
Reminder, Team Liquid also finished 3rd place in Summer Split of last year, ended up going to Worlds, so a little bit of experience there with APA, Yon, and Core JJ, the 3 remaining members from last year's roster. So weirdly enough, slightly higher expectations for Team Liquid, I think, but 100 Thieves, after that number 2 seed, definitely want to make it to top 3.
Yeah, as we see early warding going down against Umti did type in all chat a little ... and River responded, "It's real game, bro." So it's fun to see that out of these 2 junglers as well. They had a little bit of, I'll say, like, not actual beef, but kind of like going back and forth with Umti saying that River was the one he wanted to kill the most for killing APA.
I thought we were friends, man.
There's slight strategy here. You need to check if 100 Thieves has everyone muted. So you do the like friendly conversational banter at the start before you get into something meaningful later.
And you do it while you're looking around to like set down your early wards in the jungle, because then if somebody's caught typing, maybe you get a flash that you wouldn't otherwise get. It's the min-max on when you type. It's not just what, it's when.
We know River will hear. That's the one thing confirmed.
All right, so where are we expecting the action to be most likely here in the early game, you guys think?
I mean, both junglers are starting on top side. I'll be curious to see where they go, just based on, we did see Umti going bot a little bit more as the TL have gone through the playoffs. Previously, he would play a lot more around top side. So I'm curious to see if he's just going to do clear, look for something bot, back.
Yeah, I think I'd be a little disappointed if either jungler puts a lot of effort into the K'Sante Renekton matchup when we have the entire 100 Thieves strategy, I feel like, built around this Maokai Jace.
Okay.
And the glow up that Giannis had so far in playoffs, just really increasing his damage per minute and his early game kills plus assists. So I think it's mid and bot, and that's why both junglers have stopped in the top side. They're just pathing down. They're leaving the Cassante Renekton to be in their own little world, and they'll rejoin the game at 12 minutes. But for now, it's about who can gain control of this bottom river, because that can lead into both the mid and the bot lanes.
Well, Umpty is making his way into the enemy jungle now, pathing around the backside of the red buff. River currently,
this is incredible,
trying to work on that buff, but yeah, Umpty just showing up. River secures the buff though. Umpty a little bit too late to the party, and River will be happy with that one.
Yeah, this is kind of the Umpty special though, right? Like he's usually in your jungle at about this time if you're facing him. He still has the highest forward percentage of any jungler in the LCS, and TL as a team have the highest counter jungle percentage, so he does really like to get actively involved in his opponent's jungle, and River is a good jungler that you should track, right? You always want to know where he is.
Yeah, but I will say, because Umpty was about half a second late on that smite, he lost 2 extra camps.
Whoa, hold on now. Meech taking a lot of damage down here as Jan and CoreJJ flex the power of the Xayah Rakan duo. Meech losing the ghost, still has flash, but he's down to 200 HP and pretty much no mana, so it's going to be a reset angle, I would have to think.
Yeah, and I really want to say, like, that is so important that River was there, because with how low Meech is right now, if they didn't have the jungler taking control of the river there, that could have been a first blood angle for Umpty. He wouldn't have had to go clear his top side of jungle. He could have been bot lane. There was a shove. Like, that was very close to being a great early game plan, but River secured the smite, got level 4 first, got Scuttle Crab, and I think actually saves his bot lane first blood.
Yeah, and a lot of things you see from River are just kind of this general awareness, right? As he's staying really low.
Yeah, speaking of general awareness, Ayla barely hanging on there. He's all right. He's all right.
He's aware.
But he's aware that he's got 100 HP left after trying to stop that wave from crashing into the turret. He manages to hold on to it for a little while, but Meech now back in lane trying to farm up whatever's left of these minions. It is a preferable lane state for Jan and Core, who got to shove the wave in and then take their back right after.
Yeah, and to end the River point, it's basically just that he has a really good understanding of where his lanes are. So sometimes even if he's just hovering so someone can get a good back, resetting the wave like he does for Quid kind of frequently sometimes, as he could be looking for something potentially around the grubs.
Yeah, we got 5-minute grub dance. CoreJJ already left to roam, and he's going to find River here and be able to push him off. They have top lane prio as well from the Renekton, so this should be 3 early grubs for Team Liquid.
Especially with how good Rel is at just securing this objective anyway. You've got a good grub farming champion. You've got total control over the top side. Ayla looks for an abyssal dive there on Jan. The Ghost and Flash both spent by this Xayah. Jan popping both summoner spells to avoid the engage, avoid this 2v1 situation.
Yeah, and that's the cost of the grubs. They were able to secure those because CoreJJ left and showed on the map. Meanwhile, Ayla wanted to make something happen. Incredibly easy for the Tahm Kench to tank multiple turret shots this early in the game. They might have been able to kill, and that's why Jan burned the Flash. I don't think he needed to burn the Ghost as well, so that could be a potential return gank for River. Or Quid could make a bot lane party happen pretty soon.
Yeah, as we see River kind of circling around, he will see Umpty with that ward placed.
So all our solo laners are level 6 now. All 4 have used their teleports for the first time already. But remember that APA on Taliyah is going to have a lot more room to try to affect the other lanes thanks to the ulti and the pressure that the Weaver's Wall has. So Quid's going to try to keep him locked underneath this turret, but it's not going to work out so great here just yet. APA clears out that last minion. He'll have the opportunity to roam, but it's 100 Thieves looking to pressure the Team Liquid jungle.
Yeah, and they're doing this because they have mid lane and bot lane prio thanks to those grubs. It's trying to turn that support roam against them. They're using this tempo fairly well. I'd say because they were unable to steal the Gromp, it doesn't do that much for them, and it's just really been a couple stat checks from these two teams early on. No big lead either way.
Yeah, it is nice to see the response, though, because I do think when we kind of headed into Core and Ayla scrapping a little bit, when we headed into this matchup, I was thinking, like, 100 Thieves, typically around River's early pathing, they have pretty good early game responses, like we see here. But TL overall, I think, are the much better team on the map, macro-wise.
Sniper goes in for the all-out as Impact pops Dominus in response. The all-in, the 1v1. We're not going to get it all the way to the death, but they're both very low. Third and Topho strike is not going to connect on Impact. If that would have hit and knocked them back, Sniper might have gone in a little bit further. But Dominus wears off. All Out's about to wear off. I was hoping we were going to get the first blood, just top lane 1v1 Chad battle, but unfortunately not today. They both go low, but nobody drops. 100 Thieves at the same time will take the first Drake of the game.
Yeah, I mean, even if Renekton and Cassante aren't going to matter in this game, they're at least trying to entertain us.
Right.
Exactly.
They have no first blood. And speaking of which, we do have a poll for chat of who is the better entertainer between these two teams, because we've had tons of solo kills and reactions from Sniper, and we've had great all-chat interaction from APA. So chat, let us know who you think is the better entertainer.
Oh, Meech ends up eating a turret shot and has to flash away there as he's ignited. It's both summoner spells spent by the 100 Thieves AD carry. We were talking about what's going to happen in bot lane now with Yawn not having his flash or his ghost, and what happens is Meech gets put at the same spot.
Yeah, they pushed a little far up as...
Second time now.
Yawn, yeah. Core and Yawn should be able to at least get played off of this, as Umti and APA are kind of fainting down, at least towards that side, although they'll get spotted out.
Yeah, I mean, I think because there's been so many summoner spells burned towards bot, you'd think there'd be a lot of action there, but they've also just been littering that bot river and bot jungle with wards and attention, so they're both very aware that that's where people would want to go, and until one of these mid laners actually breaks free entirely, we're not going to see that much. River making the very first visit to the top lane either jungler has made in 9 minutes.
And it's just to throw a little tree baby into the brushes and then walk back away. Never mind. Okay, maybe we are going to get a gank. Probably not. He's just clearing out the ward. Yeah. All right, that's our top lane presence.
It's a vision war. Actually, no, I shouldn't say that because then we'll get people cheering for ward kills again.
Now you've done it. Now you summoned it. Now you made it real. Team Liquid bringing Umti down with Core JJ as they'll make their way back towards bottom lane. Yawn's fine, just farming up underneath the turret.
I'm sorry.
Emily.
I'm sorry. I did this.
Well, this also happens when Team Liquid averaged 1 combined kill per minute in the last 2 series, and currently they're at 0.00. So you have to find something to talk about. But what I'd say is the things that have gone against expectations to the series is why this game hasn't broken yet. But here comes Umti bot lane.
Yep, Meech is going to get gobbled up, brought to safety by Ayla. As soon as they see the Devour, they know that they don't have to commit anything else. It's not like you're going to get anything more there, but they force that additional summoner spell out of the Tahm Kench, and the Jinx is really vulnerable.
Yeah, but stuff like that is exactly why this game is close, because Yawn and Core JJ, we thought had the bot lane advantage. They're up, what, 8 or 4 CS, but Meech has a cull, so he's going to get that gold back later. And then Quinn and APA, even though he finally poked him and got a plate down, had been even in CS up until 100. Just now he's pulled ahead, but that's why the game's been so close. Mid and bot have not swung in either direction.
All right, Tahm Kench can't save Jinx this time. The Magnet Storm follow-up. It's first blood for Yawn Xayah. Beautifully done from Team Liquid. Ready to punish the lack of defensive options for 100 Thieves.
Yeah, and Umti hung out a while to get that, which is, again, one major thing that we've seen from TL that I've really liked, because previously it looked like top lane was really the only place where Umti felt comfortable kind of communicating. Whereas he's gone bot a lot more frequently in this playoffs, and I think it's really paid off for them.
And the last time Grubs got taken, we were praising the response on the other side, taking the tempo. This time around, it was 100 Thieves at the Grubs, and Team Liquid finding the counterplay on the other side of the map.
Yeah, everything is connected, because not only did River spend time up there, Quid even fogged into top lane. I actually feel like that situation was 100 Thieves thinking, oh, TL really wants to get 6 Grubs, yet they're actually thinking to dive bot lane, which in this case is better. You see the Kraken Slayer completed by Yawn now as well. Next Drake is going to be up in a minute, and that's how they're going to try and play this game. They want to get Yawn really fed.
Well, we're not going to get any more fights. I could see the camera going dynamic, looking in there. Are we going to get Dominus? Are we going to get all out? No, we're not going to get any.
Really good ward there.
Yeah.
Ayla just hanging around. It's always interesting, the mind games that you play once you have an opponent on top of a ward like that, because you have to play just dumb enough to get him to stick around for the longest amount of time possible. Umti Hex Flash over the wall for a little bit faster pathing through mid, as River and Ayla both head back down into the bottom lane. Yawn and Core not going to expose themselves here. They're plenty safe back underneath the turret.
Yep, Core being the, as he likes to say, human ward in that push to make sure that his bot laner can step up. They're just going to keep bouncing waves until Umti arrives, in which case they pair up, clear the vision, and continue the game plan. But speaking of which, River wanted to go for APA. Nothing there, though. Cleared the wave.
Yeah, and you can see both junglers, even when they don't pull off successful ganks, are looking towards their lanes, right?
We got something weird happening here.
Yeah, let's take a look as Umpty Hex flashes over the wall, but there's 400 Thieves players already prepared for this fight. Umpty trying to get back away, but River jumps over the wall with Twisted Advance. Super Mega Death Rocket misses. Impact made his way into the fight now, coming in with the teleport. The Dominus is ready to dunk on Meech. Ayla barely saves him with the Devour, and now Umpty's still trying to hobble away. He's down to 200 HP, but Impact just eats Meech alive. Meanwhile, Sniper tried to make a play in the back line, but he's going to get killed by APA. Impact still ain't dead. Core's coming back in for another grand entrance. Seismic Shove hits River. Quinn drops 2. 100 Thieves just got massacred.
5v5 in the bot lane. Where did Impact come from? Everyone had been waiting for this moment, and Team Liquid get the upper hand.
Yeah, and I think as we go through the replay, we're going to see Impact TPing in on the backside of this fight. Umpty gets rooted, but watch Meech, because he is about to get got. As Core and Impact realize they can get directly on him, which really, really affects the rest of this fight, even when he's rescued by Ayla.
And then Yon escaping that top lane fight with Sniper narrowly allows him to keep DPSing from the backside. That was so close. Like, the fact that one top laner could get the other AD carry and the other one narrowly missed, I think, is ultimately what turns it. Great flash follow by APA in the end there. No big play for Quid or River yet in this game, but several big plays for the Team Liquid bottom lane, giving the upper hand so far.
And it is really interesting because I think in the C9 game, we could see Sniper kind of working through, like, where do I want to be if I am TPing in a fight, right? Like, he saw, I remember a play that Fudge made topside. It's like, I want to respond. Where am I going to come in? These are the small things that he's learning out of lane, and it's been something that he's talked about a lot as APA takes down this bot side tier 1. About things that he still has to learn now that he's on the LCS stage as opposed to being an NACL.
And now here comes the mid-game macro. Like, right after that fight, they immediately swap lanes. They send APA bottom early, they send their AD carry mid, and they fight in the jungle.
There's your Wombo combo engaged, but there's no damage to follow it up just yet. Finally, Yon joins the party as the Magnet Storm keeps Ayla locked down. He's rooted up, and there's the quickness. They still don't have enough damage to kill Ayla, but River's about to get chopped. Nicely done, and the kill goes to APA, but they'll trade it back for Core as 100 Thieves show up in time to at least get something.
Oh, it actually looked so good for Team Liquid for so long because Yon was just able to free hit, and it didn't look like 100 Thieves was getting anything back. But they just burst damage down onto Core JJ, and actually getting that one kill onto Meech really matters because he is so decelerated compared to where Yon is in this game. That one kill really helps him.
Yeah, and obviously they're going to be looking at him as their primary damage dealer, right? Like the Jinx along with Quid's Jace, who I think Quid has been kind of quiet in this game. Sniper is the better entertainer, we decided from chat.
Let's see if we can do something this game, because that's
TL are looking
0-1-0.
topside. But one thing that's really important to point out is look at the mid scoreline, right? Like, even though Quid has been able to get push and a CS lead, APA is doing really well to join up in these fights for TL.
He is. I think we might see a TP here from Quid, though, because APA just committed all bottom lane, and he's in River to potentially TP for a fight if 100 Thieves wants it.
100 Thieves seem to just be backing away for now. Team Liquid not dealing the rest of the damage to the Herald immediately. They're still concerned about the possibility of the turn, but they will have the time to secure this as Sniper makes his way down into the fight, and Impact has already popped the Dominus. Team Liquid decides they want to turn back on Cassante, but Umpty and Impact will not have enough damage to kill this guy just on their lonesome. Meanwhile, Turret drops thanks to Meech putting in the work in mid lane, so 100 Thieves trying to claw back some of this gold difference.
And they got the TP from APA, so Rift Herald not that big of a price to pay depending on how good the usage ends up being for Team Liquid. Decent macro there by 100 Thieves, and now Quid can go back bottom lane knowing he has the TP advantage, which is why Team Liquid is summoning the Herald right now and going for turrets.
Okay, should be no problem to take this down. Nice engage coming out from TL as they force the Devour from Tom Kench. They're going to kill him anyway, and Meech has to flash and goes just to barely get out with 300 HP. River hit by another seismic shove. What was he even doing standing there? APA punishes, and Team Liquid's about to get a tier 2.
Yeah, and even as you see, obviously Quid in the side lane over here, again, APA being able to join up for these fights with the Talia flicks, he's been playing really well.
he has been smurfing this last few sequences. Sure, he's down, what, 20 CS to the Jace? But both of those picks are because APA landed his seismic shove. That's what prompted that entire initiation. I thought macro-wise, 100 Thieves was in an okay position. Like, sure, they're going to lose the mid-turret, but they're going to get a huge push bottom lane, gold on a Jace. They just had the micro diff there.
Never played versus Taliyah? Question mark. Can't dodge my W? Question mark. He's back. He's yapping, and he deserves to for this one. APA leading the way.
Yeah, as we go through that last fight, again, TL have done such a great job of getting on to Meech, right? They know exactly who they have to get onto in these team fights, as we see River coming out of that maybe a little frustrated.
I mean, he knows that that was a silly death, right? Like, he shouldn't have even still been there. They're not going to be able to defend that tier 2 turret, so that one doesn't feel so great. 0-3 and 2 on the Maokai, and I feel like the status of River is pretty telling for why this game looks so bad for 100 Thieves. This guy is such a crucial part of the engine when this team gets online and when they get running, and for him to just be so shut down and not able to make any plays, it really just removes so much of the threat of that 100 Thieves viciousness. As Sniper going all out here, looking to take out Impact with the help of Meech's Jinx, but Impact wants to turn around. He's still got Dominus, and Sniper has to flash away. Impact's gonna stay alive as he sidesteps the zap. Oh, beautifully sliced right back away from the slicing Maelstrom. And now, let's see, Meech, he's just gonna dive the feathers, baby. Sniper's still trying to stick around. As there comes Impact trying to do something long enough for Impact.
Maybe.
Long enough for Umpty to stay around, excuse me. Oh my goodness, Quinn needs a little bit more damage, but he ain't gonna find it. Corey J coming in for a grand entrance. Impact is still alive. Death, taxes, and Impact in playoffs. The guy always shows up, man. Ayla trying to get back away from this one now as he's gonna get beat down. APA rides in the Weaver's wall, and he's now going after River. The Ayla tries to get out, but no, Core JJ just beats him down. APA picks up another. What is this sequence?
That was both of them calling in teammates. My favorite was Core JJ in from the top rope on the Rakan. Again, a signature pick for him as we see Sniper thinks he can get the one up on Impact. Meech is right here. This is another way for for 100 Thieves rather, to get back in. But as you can already see, Yawn is headed down the river. He gets here. And then Core is going to appear on the back end of this fight as Jace TP's in. You do think they'll be able to turn it around here, right? Especially since they shut down Yawn. That really importantly goes to Quid. But Umpty is here, Impact is here, and here comes Core JJ.
There he is. I mean, just because Impact has been playing for 12 years doesn't mean his hands have gotten worse. He's still got Sumer hands.
Impact just navigated the whole fight. So I called Jinx's ult Slicing Maelstrom because all that was on my mind was Slice from Renekton, because he's just dancing around so crazy, man. This guy is just so damn good at League of Legends. You can see the comparison here.
Yeah,
between
2016.
The ages of our players, as Team Liquid is up 5,000 gold. And they're daring 100 Thieves to come challenge them. River with a flash engage, looking for APA, but a nice Zonia's is going to keep the Taliyah alive. Umpty and Core looking to engage and disrupt the backline. Now it's Snipers into the back of Team Liquid looking for APA, but he ain't gonna find him. There's already 2 Thieves dead. Team Liquid rallies around their mid laner, and they keep him alive. Meech can't get anything. APA lives with 20 HP, and Team Liquid is running away with this game.
This could very well be all she wrote. I think we'll see a desperation play here from 100 Thieves. Quid's just gonna fire a shock blast randomly into the pit because that's his only chance. It really feels like Baron can go down fast because Yawn can just free hit it. And it looks like 100 Thieves is going to concede this, aside from a few more pokes. They know the game is so lost, they're going to try something.
They have to try it, but it's not going to happen, man. Umpty and Team Liquid securing the Baron 21.5 minutes into the game. It is a 15-3 kill score.
And you can see the Team Liquid have really picked up the pace. We had no kills 10 minutes ago. We've had 18 kills in the last 10 minutes. So right here, you can see APA, sure he's yapping as well. Does technically get caught if it was a more even game, but the game is not that even, and it's on the backside of the fight there where you see Core and Umti just completely training 100 Thieves with their CC. They can't get through it. Then Yawn and Impact can kind of do whatever they want. And this is looking very much like a Team Liquid Game 1 victory.
You can see the frustration on Golden Glue's face as things are about to go from bad to worse. Ayla just gets popped by Yawn. The damage from Team Liquid, the coordination of all of them in the same place at the same time, doing the same damn thing to 100 Thieves again and again and again. It's 17-3. Team Liquid's going to make this one fast.
And as we look at TL's overall playoff performance, the thing that's really struck me is Core and Umti kind of working together in a lot of these fights, sometimes detaching Core from lane as early as you can to get him to affect other lanes as well, and then them playing around this bot lane and really getting rewarded for it.
And for me, as 100 Thieves might try to go for Umti, the thing that jumps out to me at this game is first team All-Pro, player of the game leader Quid, and then Yappa. Like, the fact that we have APA with a 700 gold bounty, 507, been involved in every major fight, landed all of his crucial seismic shoves, is such a massive difference from the series expectations that it's part of why Team Liquid is blowing them out.
And I think this is what Team Liquid fans have been wanting. They want APA to step up, to back up all of that trash talking. And here in game one, he has been doing it. 3 fully completed items there on the Taliyah. He's got the Zhonya's Hourglass, so he's fine even putting himself in risky spots where he might be able to get engaged on, since he knows the rest of the team will be able to rally around and protect him. Half HP remaining on the tier 3 turret here in mid lane.
The observers are leaning into it now. So
we're all in the same team here.
There we go.
Now another beautiful shove's going to start off this fight. Umti's really low, so CoreJJ is going to try to protect him now. Impacts him in the front line with the dominance. He's going for the engage alongside Core. Yawn's to the killing spree. 100 Thieves are already done. It's Ayla and Meech just trying to head to the hills, but it won't matter, man. Team Liquid, they've still got the Baron for 20 more seconds. They'll bring this last little cannon minion up, but he won't get in the way of the turret, so they just have to stand and watch.
I mean, they should tank the turret right now. I think the backdoor bonus is off as long as that thing is there, but they have time. They have 10 seconds on Baron. I think they're going to try and end.
Oh, Meech. Nice. Flashed away, but it's a little bit too little. A little bit too late. CoreJJ still just pressuring them all the way back into the fountain.
That might be enough.
First Nexus turret, APA gets the kill on Meech there. Beautifully done. As Team Liquid, they got low health bars, but all 5 are still alive. The Nexus turrets are dropping. The Nexus itself will pop in under 25 minutes. And Team Liquid makes quick work of 100 Thieves in game 1.
Yeah, that was amazing to see from TL. It really took all of the things that we've seen them slowly learning together in playoffs. Again, the core Umti combo to start these fights, playing a lot more around their bot laner, and then also APA showing up with a great Taliyah game. Impact being, I mean, Impact is kind of, people identified him as one of the best performers on this team, even when they looked really shaky. But obviously joining up for fights. Are you looking at chat?
Yeah. So
what we got?
At the end, APA just types first team All-Pro mid,
dude,
XD.
And then he was out of there.
And then he
see how fast he got
Yeah, he was out.
That's what we like to see. APA is feeling it, and Team Liquid is feeling good after game 1. A reminder, tickets for LCS Finals sold out immediately. But if you still want to attend, we got some good news. We've opened up additional seating to watch in the Outdoor Fan Fest zone alongside Sneaky and Meteos. There's only a few of those tickets left too, though, so scan that QR code to get yours before they sell out. And now with game 1 already wrapped up, let's head back over to the LCS Lounge to break it all down.
Sweet, welcome back to the lounge. My name is Dale Isaac Cumming-Bentley.
I'm here in the corner.
How you doing over there?
Why is the camera on me? What's
What does that mean about me?
What are you doing?
Guys,
why are you trying to steal the spotlight?
Certainly I look more handsome. Anyways, let's get into the fact that this game was a shellacking on the side of Team Liquid. They destroyed 100 Thieves. I wanted to focus on the bot lane fight that ended up blowing this one up. First things first, it looks like Team Liquid is the one that's out of position as Umti's put in the pit, trying to find a way if he looks for a fight in here, this Tribush. But if we play it out, he gets caught out. 100 Thieves as a whole just encircle him, and most teams would say, okay, you're gone, buddy. This game is over from this point forward. But if you pause it right here, I want to open up the mini-map just a little bit. As you can see, Renekton Impact in this case goes in a really safe location in which K'Sante cannot harm him, so he can TP to this ward right here. So while 100 Thieves as a team is focusing on Umti and him being out of position, Renekton Impact actually refocuses his team on a very caught-off-guard Meech. So just play this one through. Because this, to me, showcases how good of a team fighter Impact is and how well Team Liquid as a squad, and now we can pause it here, really play around the call. So, yes, as you can see, Meech gets blown up, but he's saved by Tahm Kench. He's out of the fight completely. Yun's in really off position, but he's just basically buying a lot of time from Sniper in particular. Let's play this one through one more time. Because my eyes are on Meech. Deteriorating shield and flash Q from Renekton to be able to take him out, and the second half of this team fight. Because as you can pause quickly, they're all dealing with Sniper up on the top side of the map, so they're just buying time. Impact is soaking up as much damage as possible, and Quiz the one who's out of position because he had an opportunity to leave, and you can play this one through, Azael, but he lost that opportunity. Impact pushes him up, and so the rest of Team Liquid can now zone him through. So it starts... This entire fight starts with Umpty being out of position, but it was Team Liquid during the fight itself, recognizing that Meech was out of position. The TP from Renekton comes through, and Impact, I thought, plays really well to then make that fight into a Team Liquid win.
Well done, boys. A+.
Me especially, right?
Nice job.
I pressed
well done.
B.
You know what? You're looking especially shiny today. I love it. I got some fun facts for you fellas as well. That was the fastest game of playoffs and the second fastest of the entire spring split.
That's a pretty fun fact.
So we are off to the races here, and it's not looking that good for 100 Thieves
not
at
having
the
fun with that
start. I would say 100 Thieves have a lot of room to make improvements. Bottom lane for sure. Impact is obviously the GOAT with the teleport. Yep. But Core JJ putting that ward deep up on the bottom lane and then focusing with jungle, ganking down there early also was really smart. But even back to draft, I think they can make some improvements here.
Absolutely. Well, 100 Thieves look like a cohesive unit on the Rift, but last week, Emily put... Oh, it's wrong copy. Excuse me. Never mind.
We got you, buddy.
All right, well, I got boomed. We're going to a break. We'll be back after this.
But you're looking good.
Thank you.
That's what you get.
What the fuck? Wow. What? What is going on?
Skarner, baby. Wait, you don't know the ability? No. Wait, no one knows the ability. No.
I'm going to start off before I even press play saying I love how badass he looks. New Skarner is big, he's bad, he's Chad, he's got 3 tails. I love him.
It's like a Cyanold? What? Whoa.
There's a lot of stuff going on my screen. Seems like the ult is similar.
Oh my god, he's digging. He can go through walls? Holy sh**. Looks so OP.
It's gonna be a full tank champ with Engage.
The Q is the same, I assume, right? I feel like every time a new League champ comes out or a rework, I'm always like, this cannot, like this would look so weird in League and then eventually becomes normal.
It looks so fun. It made Skarner look so cool.
I don't even know what that was.
New Skarner's gonna be doing some WWE moves. I love it. I love it.
I'm gonna play.
Hopefully he's playable, honestly. This looks this looks really fun.
Wow, that is a lot different. Actually, I thought it was gonna be more similar to old Skarner.
Yeah, he has Tiamat. Okay, he's going through the wall. Okay. Oh, you can get a skull crop fast. That is pretty lit.
Oh my god, the grabbing the stone is come here.
Oh my god, he threw a rock at him.
Pretty little damage. And the cooldowns are really high.
So his W is pick up a rock?
Yeah, okay, it slows everyone in a certain radius.
Is it a tank or? Nice, ease the drift.
E over the wall, 130 damage.
What is this gear? How is that like an actual real spell? Holy, Skarner is an invading champ now.
Oh, W is like he just hits the ground because he's mad.
Auto W, auto Q, auto E. So you kind of want to cancel your auto attacks with the spell.
Tell if he does a lot of damage yet. Let's see. Okay, he's fighting Jax.
Oh, is that? Oh, that's the. Holy sh.
Yeah, E. That goes through towers. Yeah, that's really.
Wait, the E is actually OP though. The E is OP.
Yeah, it looks like E skill is the most OP skill. Looks like.
I think it's really very, very useful on stage.
So you get the shield and you also knock back before.
Why doesn't he Q before he takes his... Oh, wait. Oh, wait. It can get cancelled. At least his E can get cancelled.
It's like a Rammus Q.
Can E over there. Can he E multiple people? Let's see. Oh, he didn't try to.
And you can only grab one target, it looks like, on your E.
Skarner's new passive also is a 3-hit passive that applies a dot on the 3rd hit. So having something that gives you that auto reset can be very powerful. It's also why you're seeing stuff like PTA, like Halo Blades.
Like, not really a carry. Oh my god. Holy sh.
Okay, that was aggressive.
You're in the middle of everybody. Let's see if we get the multi-ulti, Skarner. Come on, grab them dudes. Grab them dudes.
Oh sh. Wait, it pulls multiple people?
One person. Wait, his ult is multi-people.
두 명을 납치하네 계속.
Oh my gosh, you can suppress more than one person. Every jungler is gonna play this, by the way.
It's so broken for sure, really. It's so amazing.
I'm a little bit scared of the champ. I feel like it might just be a competitive champ. This kid is a like competitive type of something that you really want on your team as a jungler, because you can be creative with your engage. You are a tank, and you have AoE, CC.
It looks like the stone throwing or W looks like not powerful, but E and ult is like so good at like, you know, making the play. You know, for junglers, like it's pretty ungankable to gank top when you're on blue side, because you just ward the pixel bush and then you can't really go over this giant wall that's here anymore. But I mean, I guess Skarner can just E through it. So
this looks really fun though, actually. I hope it's competitively viable.
When is it coming out?
Red Bull gives you wings.
There he is. He's right there.
Cover more ground in the Kia Sportage Turbo Hybrid. Kia, movement that inspires.
Look what I've just made. The perfect pearl.
Not too bad, but check this out.
Whoa, a true Venus clam.
Red Bull gives you wings.
The new Red Bull Sea Blue Edition with the taste of Juneberry. Wings for every taste.